On a freezing Chicago night, a symbol of luxury, a red Rolls Royce Phantom, came to an unexpected halt on a lonely road. Inside sat Catherine Monroe, a billionaire heiress accustomed to privilege, but suddenly powerless in the face of a broken-down engine. As the city's wealthy socialite struggled to find help, countless drivers passed without stopping, unaware of her growing fear in the cold darkness. Then, fate intervened. A humble mechanic in a battered pickup truck pulled over. With worn hands, rusty tools, and a heart full of integrity, he brought the lifeless car back to life, unaware that his simple act of kindness would forever change both their worlds. This is not just the story of a car repair. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the richest hearts are found in the poorest places, and that a single night can rewrite destinies. It was a cold Chicago night, the kind that bites through coats and makes the city streets feel emptier than they are. The skyline glowed in the distance, but on a quieter stretch of road, luxury met despair. A red Rolls Royce Phantom, polished to perfection, slowed to a crawl and finally died with a coughing engine. Its chrome grille caught the moonlight, but the power beneath the hood was gone. Inside sat Catherine Monroe, a wealthy woman in her 40s, famous in the city for her philanthropy, beauty, and billions. She had just left an extravagant gala silk gown, diamond necklace, the works. She was the kind of woman who never thought about car trouble, because with her money, problems like that weren't supposed to exist. But now on this lonely road, her world felt fragile. She dialed roadside service, no signal. She waved at cars, but drivers only sped past. Some even slowed to look, then left, assuming a woman like her would have someone on the way. She wrapped her arms around herself as the cold seeped into her skin. For the first time in years, Catherine felt helpless. Then came the sound of an old pickup truck. Its headlights weren't smooth and elegant like her Rolls, they flickered. Its paint was chipped, its tires worn. Out stepped Daniel Harris, a 29-year-old mechanic. His jacket was faded, his boots cracked from years of use. His face showed the exhaustion of a man who worked hard, but still struggled to survive. "Ma'am," he said with respectful caution, "looks like your car's in trouble. Want me to take a look?" Catherine's first instinct was doubt. This man looked like he barely had enough money for gas, and here he was offering to touch a machine worth more than his life savings. But the cold and silence gave her no choice. She nodded reluctantly. Daniel lifted the hood, shining a cheap flashlight inside. His hands scarred and rough moved with expertise. He muttered to himself, "Fuel pumps blocked. That's all." With only a screwdriver and his ingenuity, he cleaned and patched the problem. 15 tense minutes later, the Rolls-Royce engine growled back to life, louder and smoother than before. Catherine blinked in disbelief. "You fixed it?" Daniel just smiled faintly. "Nothing special. It just needed someone to care." She reached for her designer purse and pulled out a thick wad of cash. "Take this, please." Daniel shook his head. "No need, ma'am. I didn't stop for money. Just couldn't drive by and leave someone stranded." Catherine stared at him. In her world, people didn't do things without expecting something in return. And here was a man with nothing turning down hundreds of dollars. Before leaving, she pressed a white card into his hand. "If you ever need me, call." Daniel tucked it away, not planning to use it. To him, it was just another night, another fix, but Catherine wasn't done. The next morning, a black SUV pulled up outside Daniel's tiny rented apartment. A driver in a suit stepped out, handing him a letter. "Mr. Harris, please come to Monroe Enterprises headquarters. Miss Catherine Monroe requests your presence." Daniel thought it was a mistake. Why would a billionaire want to see him? Yet a few hours later, he found himself walking through glass doors taller than anything he'd ever seen, his boots echoing against marble floors. Inside, Catherine awaited no longer the stranded woman, but the powerful businesswoman, poised and elegant. "I looked into you," she began. "You're one of the best mechanics in Chicago. but you're underpaid, overworked, and barely making rent." Daniel nodded, embarrassed. "That's life. I do what I can." Catherine leaned forward. "Last night, you reminded me of something. Years ago, before I inherited my fortune, my mother's car broke down. A stranger helped us, asked for nothing, and disappeared. I never forgot that kindness. And now, I see the same honesty in you." She slid a folder across the table. Inside were documents for a brand new auto repair shop, fully funded in Daniel's name. A state-of-the-art garage with tools, staff, and everything he had ever dreamed of. Daniel's hands shook as he flipped through the pages. This can't be real." Catherine smiled warmly. "It's very real. You fixed my car, but more than that, you restored my faith. And I want to give you the chance to live your dream." For the first time in years, Daniel felt tears burning in his eyes. All he had ever wanted was a chance, not charity, but a chance. Within a year, Daniel's shop became one of the most respected in Chicago. People trusted him not just for his skill, but for his honesty. Catherine often visited, bringing her Rolls Royce in for maintenance, not because it needed it, but because she liked to see the man who had once stopped everything to help her. Their story went viral. Billionaire heiress rewards mechanic who saved her. But behind the headlines was something deeper, proof that in a city divided by wealth, one simple act of kindness could bridge the gap. Sometimes, fate hides in the most unexpected places. A broken car, a cold night, and a humble mechanic who changed everything.